So for well over a year, the residents of Flint, Michigan, have been forced to use, drink, and bathe in toxic water, lead-contaminated water, right? All while, of course, Republican Governor Rick Snyder assured us that the water was safe to drink. Well, it turns out it wasn't safe to drink, and now he's in a world of hurt. But who's hurting more are the people in Flint. So here comes the Muslims. Wait a minute. The Muslims? Yes, the Muslims. Now, apparently, there is a Muslim group that has delivered water to the citizens of Flint. It's a group called Who is Hussain? That's a good question. It is an organization honoring the memory of Imam Hussain ibn Ali, who is a grandson of, apparently, the Prophet Muhammad, who was killed by extremists for speaking out against violence. Okay, well, if you're gonna name a group after anybody, it seems like the guy, right? Now, he died by being denied water over the course of several days. Now, this organization, Who is Hussain, believes that denying water to any human being is unacceptable, and bringing water to those who need it is part of their campaign. Now, the organization has already collected 30,000 bottles of fresh drinking water for the Red Cross to distribute to the residents of Flint. Even though, wow, look at that. So you have a Muslim group collecting water and donating it to the Red Cross in order to have them distribute water to people in Flint that need it. One of the members of this group, Muhammad Amwala, says, Prophet Muhammad taught us, your neighbor comes before your own household. Now, as a resident of Detroit, this is not only a Flint problem, this is a Michigan problem, and I feel obligated to help to the best of my ability. Well, look at that. We saw what needed to be done, and we decided to do it. This is Dr. Aziza Asakari. We reached out to schools, neighbors, friends, mosques, anyone and everyone to help us by donating a case of water or money towards a case. Now look at that. People coming together to help people in need. Now we see religious groups all over. I think at once we gave Mormons credit for actually helping during Hurricane Sandy relief. So religious groups, they do help. They do have the organization to be able to help. So that's a good thing. But see, it's a great example. This water thing, this is a great example of people cherry picking their religious text. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in every religious text, there is good and there is bad. Cherry picking is when you pick out either the good or the bad, and there are people who pick out both. Now, the group that delivered water to Flint has picked out some of the great, and they've acted on it, which is wonderful, and they deserve to be commended for their work, especially since they're helping people that need help. They're providing where the government has failed. Now, when it comes to religion, it's not so much the text of religion itself, right? It is the people that follow it and interpret it that can be either good or bad. I think that's sort of what we miss in our discussion about religion. As an atheist, I would love to see religion be gone, go away. I want people to embrace facts, logic, and reason. Now, unfortunately, I am also smart enough to realize that people are not rational. People are not logical. And I think because of that, we're always going to have some sort of religion, right? It just seems the truth. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'll be happy to be wrong. But on that, I think it should be up to us, to people in society, to steer people towards the good parts of religion, and to accept that there are shitty, horrible things in all religions and all religious texts, right? And to have people not follow the shitty stuff, to not fall into the cancer of fundamentalism. Everyone cherry picks. It's up to us to try and steer them to cherry picking out the good stuff. For example, we want to teach them to respect human rights, women's rights, LGBT rights, and secular values. Most Christians in America, let's be honest, they've already learned that. There's a sizable chunk of people that haven't, and I have no issues pointing out the ones who don't. However, many of the world's Muslims, and I know this will be controversial, but I don't think that they're quite there yet. at that level. This religion is not as old as Christianity. They haven't quite been through as much as Christianity has. They're still developing as a religion. But I think instead of writing them off, maybe we should do something different. The group of Muslims that are helping out in Flint are a great example of people who do get it. They're a great example who actually use parts of their text, the good parts, to actually help people. And they should be held up as an example to all religious people. Muslims, Christians, Jews, etc. They should be held up as an example. Their Bronze Age text that's filled with violence and contradiction can also be used for good. It just matters how you interpret it.